Here's what I did this week on the farm. I started staking and stringing my tomato plants. I say started because I did my math wrong and I did not get nearly enough stakes, so I have to wait for more of those to come to finish, which is really annoying, but it is what it is. So I got the ones that were the floppiest up on stakes. And the reason I had to wait so long was because I had to wait until I had some kind of fencing situation set up, because I didn't want deer eating them, and I had been covering the outer ones in the off chance deer came through, which I did find a lot of deer prints. Like, there were a ton of deer footprints all over the place, and I definitely lost some lettuce heads to said deer, but they didn't touch my tomatoes, so thank God. And now I also got electric fencing put up, so it took about like 4 hours to do the whole thing, and I had to reshift some a few times, which definitely added to the duration, because I thought getting 600 feet would be like, oh, you'll have maybe even some to spare, but it was a tight fit. The peace of mind that's come with having the fencing put up is insane. It's like I'm trying to rush this right now so I can get to an evening farmer's market, and before now it was always so stressful because it was like, should I cover everything now at like 1 p.m. before going to the farmer's market, because I won't get back until like after 8, and then that's like when deer are roaming, so it's like, what's the risk factor? And now I don't have to do any of that because they'll be shocked, which is exciting. I also covered some of the nematode beds with some insect netting so that hopefully it'll keep out, it's both the flea beetles and root maggots I've been having issues with, but luckily beneficial nematodes help with both of those, as does insect netting. So I'm hoping I can get ahead of it so my stuff isn't as holy as it was before. I've also been watering those beds consistently because you want to keep the bed wet for the nematodes to like thrive and like build their colony or whatever. So doing that. I also started clearing out spent baby green beds that I'm going to be planting into. This whole week has been a series of projects that I had to delay, to wait on other projects, to delay, to wait on other projects, to delay and wait on other projects, until eventually it just became like, okay, I have been waiting on wood chips to create a compost pile before clearing any of my beds so that I had somewhere to put all the waste, because I don't even know where I would put all of the like spent things. So I had to wait to do that until I had a compost pile, but I couldn't make my compost pile until I got wood chips delivered from Chip Drop. And it's been months now and they just haven't dropped any chips, even though I said I had to pay them. So I don't know what to do about that. And so I just decided, fuck it. I have some wood shavings left behind by the previous owner that are still in a package. There's branches around. I have mowed grass. There's composted horse manure. I have a lot of things that I can use. And so I'm doing that instead. So what I also did this week was built a compost pile, and that was very exciting. I heavily referenced Jesse Frost's Market Gardener video about building a compost pile. I watched it like 3 times throughout the process. It's one of those things where you can get so technical with it that I think that was my problem for a while, was like thinking, oh, I didn't have to get the right numbers, I didn't have the right inputs, and then I had found this calculator and it was giving me the nitrogen to carbon ratio, and then it wasn't really calculating anything. I probably wasn't using it right, but it was just showing me the numbers, and I was having to do the math myself, and I just didn't, it was just like overwhelming me. And then so Jesse Frost calmed me down and I made my compost pile. The bottom layer is bigger sticks that I kind of created a platform with to create aeration underneath the bed. I put all that on cardboard to act as weed suppression, and then I put grass clippings on top of the sticks, and then on top of the grass clippings I put horse manure, and then I put a few wood shavings, and then I started piling on my spent greens and then putting more wood shavings on top of that. And then the plan is to layer greens, wood shavings, composted horse manure, kind of like that, until it starts composting. And then hopefully I get my wood chips by then. Jesus Christ. I also was able to now do my transplanting. So in some of the spent beds, I planted peppers, which was my big to-do list item I wanted to check off. And then I also left a space in my dried flower bed to plant my Daucus or ammi. It's Queen Anne's lace. It's supposed to be pink. I'm really excited. That's really mostly what I did this week. There were no markets for me to go to. The Saturday one got canceled for the 4th of July events in the town, which, you know, it was nice to have a break, I guess. Yeah. So I really only did a harvest for my CSA week 3. This week's harvest included beets, Hakurei turnips, headed lettuce, and bagged spinach. And the recipe I chose for this week was glazed Hakureis. They are delicious. I recommend looking it up. And now for Content Corner. This week I watched the Market Gardener's composting video. It was really, really helpful. If you're trying to start a compost of your own, I highly recommend watching it. I also watched The Testaments. I would only let myself watch it if I was doing seeding projects or if I was doing my laundry. And so I finally was able to finish it. It's a really good show. I really loved the book too. I kind of got burnt out of Handmaid's Tale towards the end there, but I'm back in now. And I just love the cast. It's like, I mean, Chase Infinity is so fantastic. I really love Roanne Blanchard. I just think it's just like a really good, strong young cast. And I've also been listening to a podcast called Broken Harts. It was recommended to me by my friend Nikki. We met up for some beers and exchanged podcast recs after. And this is the first one I listened to. It's about this case. It's just like a lot to get into, and I have to go to my farmer's market soon. It's just like a really shocking story. And it's one that it touches so many random cultural moments that I knew about this story before listening to this podcast. There's also an episode of Atlanta that's really based on it. Like, even having said that, there's like so many cultural moments I forgot were a part of this, or that this family touched on, and it's just like a really tragic, dark story about child abuse. So trigger warning, and definitely racism. So yes, listen if that's something that you don't find too upsetting, but it's really well told, and I enjoyed the podcast. So Broken Hearts, highly recommend. And that's what I did this week. So catch me back here next week for week 27.